Well, the past 24 hours have been hours of verdicts from both FIFA and, of course, CAF regarding Nigeria and Senegal. And if you like, Morocco as well, the past 24 hours. So at exactly 6:01 p.m. yesterday, I got a mail from the Nigerian Football Federation that the petition submitted by the Football Federation to FIFA regarding the eligibility of some players of DR Congo has been rejected. And right now, the chances of Nigeria going to the World Cup is becoming slimmer by the day. Welcome to another edition of a Sport Hangout, where we give you the latest coming from the ever-busy world of sport. My name is Toby. We want to talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We want to talk about what CAF did late last night. Well, it's no longer news that Morocco has been confirmed as the winners of the African Cup of Nations, AFCON 2024. Did you see that coming? Well, but let's start with that of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Well, the NFF has confirmed through the General Secretary, Dr. Mohamed Sanusi, that the petition submitted by the Football Federation over DR Congo has been rejected. I mean, many Nigerians were expecting maybe a miracle that DR Congo will be disqualified, and maybe then the Super Eagles of Nigeria will get passage to the World Cup. But based on latest reports, that petition has been rejected. And according to the General Secretary of the NFF, Dr. Mohamed Sanusi, did say, well, that the Football Federation will appeal that decision, but there is one element. Time is running out because the Intercontinental Playoff will be played later this month, and we have less than 2 weeks to that competition, and then Nigeria wants to submit an appeal to the CAS. That's a Court of Arbitration for Sports. The question is this: will CAS be able to give a verdict on the appeal before that time? So I think we should just forget about going to the World Cup. And according to them, they said the NFF did not submit the petition on time, and they didn't pay a stipulated fee as well for that petition. So technically, they struck out our petition against DR Congo, and that was what was confirmed yesterday. So if you are a Nigerian hoping that the Super Eagles will be at the World Cup later this year through the back door, well, it looks like that back door has been shut by the by FIFA, and it's looking like DR Congo will be the representative of Africa for that Intercontinental Playoff later this month. So that's just the news to tell you about Nigeria. The news is that the petition submitted by the NFF has been rejected. We've been expecting the verdict from FIFA, and that verdict came late last night from the football governing body. So that's about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I think you need to be an incurable optimist to still think that the Super Eagles, you need to be an incurable optimist to think that the Super Eagles will be at the World Cup later in the year. So I think we should make peace with that and prepare for the next World Cup in the year 2030. Well, back-to-back World Cup right now, the Super Eagles will not be there. They were not there in Qatar in 2022, and they will not be there in Mexico, United States, and Canada in 2026. Let's talk about the bigger one that came up later in the day. Before we slept last night, I mean, we saw news on the internet. We thought that it was even fake news. We needed to verify. Now, the news is that CAF has stripped Senegal, the Teranga lands of Senegal, of the African Cup of Nations that was won earlier in the year. Now, let me give you the backstory if you missed it. That game was riddled by a lot of controversial moments by the center referee. And it got to a point that the players of Senegal, they staged a walkout. They said, we are not going to play any longer because the referee was biased. And then, after like 10 minutes, play continued. But of course, in extra time, Senegal got their winning goal and they won the African Cup of Nations. The trophy presentation was done. Medals were given to Senegal players. And of course, Morocco won the silver medal because they finished second. But after that final, Morocco went to CAF saying that based on CAF laws and regulation, Senegal should forfeit that win. And they went to CAF, they appealed, and right now the decision has come. The decision is not really palatable. I mean, shocking to so many people. The news is that Senegal has been stripped of the African Cup of Nations title, and then it has been given to Morocco. So they've forfeited the win, 3 goals and 3 points, because according to CAF, they staged a walkout. But I'm trying to understand, because this is the first time such will be happening. I mean, how do you win the African Cup of Nations through the back door? The question is this: will people recognize Morocco as the winners of the African Cup of Nations? Because you need to win football games on the field of play and not through the back door. But hey, there is still a leeway for Senegal. According to reports, they are expected to appeal that decision. I'm very sure this will not stand. I'm very sure they are going to appeal that decision. And the captain of Senegal, one of their leaders in the team, talking about Sadio Mane, has released a statement. He's not happy, he's angry, because that was meant to be his last football game for Senegal, because he has announced his international retirement. So he wanted to end on the high. But right now, Senegal has been stripped of that African Cup of Nations title. As it stands right now, Morocco won the African Cup of Nations in 2024. I mean, did you see that coming? That's coming from CAF. So, but do you think that Senegal will have this overturned? Because they are definitely going to appeal that decision by CAF and trying to, maybe they will take it to CAF and drag CAF to CAF and say, well, we won the competition, but it's very difficult. I'm trying to understand, will CAF present another trophy to Morocco, because the trophy presentation has been done for Senegal, and the medals that they gave to Senegal, will they retrieve it and give it back to Morocco? So a lot of questions needs to be asked, and CAF will need to come out in the next couple of days to clarify some of these things and tell us what they want to do regarding the new African champions, talking about the Atlas lands of Morocco. Let me repeat it again. Senegal has been stripped of the African Cup of Nations title. So as it stands right now, Morocco hosted the 2024 African Cup of Nations and they won it through the back door. Did you see that coming? Well, that's what we'll talk about. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, and well, I think we should make peace with the fact that we are not going to the World Cup. NFF has said he wants to appeal. I think it's a waste of time and resources, because you are going to spend a lot of money to appeal that decision. And then for Senegal, I think they have a good case. They are definitely going to appeal that, because many people think, and I also feel that it's an injustice to award the African Cup of Nations title to the Atlas Lions of Morocco. I remain Toby until next time that we are going to meet. Remember to subscribe if you have not done that, like, share, and of course, comment. We'll be very happy to hear from you. Thank you.